I have a special place in my heart for Black women who are going through some shit.
Yeah. That's what makes your movement so powerful. You come from some shit, you've been through some shit.
I can talk on that shit.
And you're going to higher places. You're already there.
If I can help one sister get out of chasing her baby daddy, looking for money, scamming the system, taking from Peter to pay Paul, if I can help one woman, elevate her household to feel more confident as a single mom and be able to give your kids the best version of you, because when you're broke and you're struggling, you are snappy, you're hateful, you cannot be a productive mother. There's no way. I've been there. You're not who you're supposed to be to your kids. But if I can help you maneuver through that, I'm doing it.
Get your money on. Get your money on. Get your money on. Get your money on.
Bag talk.
Businessman.
Man, I'm a businessman.
Money talk.
You run our podcast, bro.
We can bring something new to life.
I ain't a businessman, I'm a business man. Now let me handle my business. So, here we are, episode 2. We got our girl Tia. Welcome. Give me a little handshake. Yes. Super happy to have you here. Before we get started, this episode and this season is brought to you by Tribe Network. Shout out to the good folks at Tribe. Specifically the Black Startup Project, a project to really help elevate your business and grow your business, funding opportunities. Check out tribenetwork.ca. Some great things happening. And shout out to Tribe.
You're a really bad introduction person. This is the I'm a Businessman
Yes, it is.
podcast.
First, we got to shout the sponsors first immediately.
So you got to get the money before you let the people know.
Exactly.
All right,
Got to secure the bag first. Secure the bag first. But it is I'm a Businessman podcast, season 2.
Yes.
We're super excited to keep this rolling. Myself and Nevell Provo. You know who I am.
Corvell Beals. And we have the great Tia Upshaw.
Yes.
I don't know about great, but thanks.
Great.
Man, hey,
Great.
From my point of view, you're great.
You're great.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Great.
Thanks,
We wouldn't
guys.
have you here if you weren't. We try
that's
to
what's up, yeah.
we try to bring greatness. But yeah, we're super excited to have Tia here, the founder of Top Notch Cleaners, Lux Overnights, Coco Clothing, just a super serial entrepreneur, a real boss woman. And we're super excited to have her here. Born and raised here in Halifax, specifically Mulgrave Park.
That's
Shout
what's
out to
up,
Park. Shout out to Park.
Mulgrave, MGP.
Exactly. And then, most famously, well, I think at least, the Blk Women in Excellence. So we're real excited to have Tia here, chat about her journey, get to know her story, and, hear how she's built some of these great things and continue to do some great things.
Yeah.
Thanks
So thanks for coming. So we're going to get right into it. I mentioned Mulgrave Park. You grew up here in Halifax. Just tell us a bit about that. What was that like? How'd you grow up?
I mean, reality is I grew up good. My grandmother raised me, in the church, Cornwall Street Baptist Church. And I had a good upbringing. Honest to God, I can say I did. But when I got a little bit older, as a teenager, that's when the shit started. I wanted to do my own thing. And back then, basically I just ran the park, really. So, it was good growing up, but, when you hit a teenager, you're just like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like, no one's telling me nothing.
Sure.
And, even I raised 2 of my children in Mulgrave. One I had at 14. So, it was just me and him on the steps late night. Like, it was lots of good memories, though. Lots of them.
That's what's up.
Nice.
That's what's
I
up.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Young mom.
Yeah, I had him at
Young
14
mom.
and my
Okay.
second at 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shoot, 17. I don't even know if I know how to tie my shoes.
Yeah, shit. 14. Your daughter's what, 15?
Yeah. I had a kid at 18.
18.
Yeah.
See, 18's a prime.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend 14, but my son's 26 now,
Yeah,
and I just
yeah.
turned 42.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like,
And you guys kind of grow
Grew up
together.
we did grow up
and-
together.
yeah,
Me and
yeah.
like that. Yeah, he was my first love.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I'll even push it a little bit back, as I, kids, man, live your life first.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I learned a lot, being a parent, but I also, learned, to have kids later in life. I think you can give kids more.
Yes, you
know what I
can.
mean? Right? And you get to experience a lot more, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, hey, you got to do what you got to do, man.
When it comes, you got to take care of it.
Yeah, it is true, because I'm just going to jump on that part. My 2 oldest will always say, how come the youngest, her name's Zaria,
Yeah.
how come Zaria gets all this? We didn't get this. We couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, it's 14 with you and 17 with you.
Yeah.
I was 26 with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whole different
I'm
world.
a whole different person.
I'm a whole different person.
My brothers, they always say the same thing. So my mom, she had my oldest brother at 16, and then you
I was
at what,
when
18?
she was 18, yeah.
So, but then me and my little sister, we might have came when she was like 26, same type of thing.
Yeah.
So they're always, man, you don't.
You get all of it
Yeah,
now.
you get it
yeah.
all.
All new parents.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
watched it. It's like, man, you didn't do
You
that
going
shit
to
when
their
we were
hockey
young.
games and
Yeah,
shit?
Yeah.
I use my 2 as trial. The first 2 was a trial.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a lot better than him. But
Oh, Lord.
But you know what, though? Speaking of like, like trials, I think that's kind of what creates entrepreneurs. It's just the feeling forward thing. Like,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
just not giving up. And speaking of entrepreneurs, for me, I've been a fan watching from the sidelines. I don't know you. I know you personally, but I don't know you personally.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I know who you are. I've known you for a long time, just like, in the community, like we just know each other, people. But watching your story develop as an entrepreneur has been quite the, from the sidelines, been quite the view. And like tell us a little bit about that.
I don't even know where to start. I used to own a hair salon in 2007, and I just opened it because it was a popular thing to do. Let's sell some weaves and some tracks and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I just did it because I had money from my ex to invest. So, you got drug money, let's play with it. Open up a salon, it didn't even work. Like, it lasted maybe 4 years. Closed everything down, sold everything, got my hairstylist positioned in other salons, and I just kind of went back to the same old street shit. In 2013, me and my ex, we had broke up. After 20 years, we broke up, and that's when I hit rock bottom. I was kind of like back on, not kind of, I was back on welfare. I was food banking it. I had no vehicle, and if you knew me before that, I always had the best. Like, I was in the clubs every weekend. I was taking trips. My kids were dressed in name brand. I had SUVs. I was just living that lifestyle. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't. My son, my daughter, and myself, my other daughter, 2 daughters and 1 son, we had to live in a 1-bedroom on Creighton Street. And I did that for a year, and then I moved down to Brunswick, because that's all I could afford. That's all welfare was giving me. And I just woke up one day and I said, this is done. Like, something got to fucking give. Like, I can't keep walking in the winter down to the food bank, because Mulgrave Park is my home, so they have a food bank there. And, of course, the person who runs it is really, close to my family and close to me.
Yes.
So she let me come down whenever I needed. I didn't have to wait a week or 2. It was like, if you need anything, come now. But I was like, this doesn't make no sense. And then, my son was into the streets too. So I'm like, okay, he's following me. He's following his father. My middle child, I always use this term. That's my proper child, because she's totally different. Kia is like nothing like me or her father. Total opposites of all of us. And then my last one was just too young to understand anything. I decided I need to get a job. Couldn't get one because I got a criminal record. At that time, I would have had 28 convictions under my name.
Wow.
Literally 28 that time. And
you was deep in it.
Oh my God. Like, literally 28 convictions then.
Wow.
And no one would hire me because you have to disclose your criminal record.
Yeah.
And it was a pain in the ass. So then I just said, you know what? Deliver newspapers. They ain't going to ask for no criminal record check. They want you at nighttime to throw newspapers. And I did that for about 18 months. And then I was, again, something got to give. I can't deliver newspapers with my 5-year-old in the backseat sleeping. Because other kids, the other kids are kind of young. They're not going to babysit her every night. So she was always with me. And I said, okay, I love to clean. They're not going to ask me for a criminal record check as the owner of a company.
Right. Straight.
So I started with that company.
Hold on. Pause. Say that one again. Say that one.
They're not going to ask for a criminal record check as the owner of a company.
That's
so
it.
I knew that.
That's it. You got to become your own boss. Due to your limitations, like circumstances. Hey, we all have different circumstances. And I think, if I'm looking for money, if I'm looking for a job and I'm trying to do things the right way, and the opportunities are limited because of my background, I might have to create my own opportunities.
I think that's such a great thought, that's the beauty of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Especially for Black people. I mean, we all are people that really push it, and I think that's a big part of the push, the freedoms that entrepreneurship has. You can come to entrepreneurship with anything. You can be anyone from anywhere.
Yeah.
If your business, your brand, you don't even got to know who the hell you are.
Right.
You can't go into the mall or to Apple and get a job if you look a certain way
Yeah.
or whatever the case
Absolutely.
is. But anyone can start a business and be behind a brand, and entrepreneurship just has freedom for sure.
You can build your
Absolutely.
brand and business.
Without them knowing who you are.
Yeah,
You could be
to
the
look
biggest
any
killer
way.
in the world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
You
mean,
build-
They
man,
wouldn't.
listen, they might tap in a little later
Yeah.
and be like, oh, what's this who we're buying from? But
Yeah.
right away,
yeah.
you don't know half the products we got on. We don't know who the person
Right.
is,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You
I
don't.
Yeah. I don't know who made these headphones.
Exactly.
And even if I know
No
who made
idea.
them, I don't know who owns the
And
business.
I might not even care.
Yeah.
The product's great. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I am 100% on board with that because that's why I did it.
Yeah.
And, there's a couple of clients, probably both. I've been in business with Top Notch Cleaners 9 years, July 2nd, so Saturday.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank
nice.
you.
Huge.
And
9 years.
5 years in, I went to a client's house to deal with a situation. A cleaner broke something. And they were like, oh, you're Tia? And I'm like, absolutely, I'm Tia. So you're Tia, the owner of the company. And I was like, yes, can I come in? And she was like, so you're not the manager. Like, you are the official owner. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
She literally could not. I don't know if because I put the white voice on the
Yeah,
phone. I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
She just could not imagine the owner was this black girl.
No.
And it always blows people away. And then, we're going into 2 years ago, I started Blk Women in Excellence, and I really started coming to the forefront about who I was.
Nice.
Because I want to motivate other black women to get out of their way.
Straight.
You know what I mean? And at that point, a lot of my clients were like, the fuck?
Yeah, what's going
So
on?
we've been with this lady at her cleaning company all this time. Every 2 weeks, her staff are in her house. She's been in her house. She's
Right.
been around her family, kids, pets, everything.
Right.
And she's a criminal?
Right.
She has a criminal record?
Yeah.
How did we not know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I only lost one client, and that's her issue, not mine.
Sure is.
You know what I mean? So I let it go. I didn't even push the issue. But other than that, everybody else was just like, girl,
Yeah.
Yeah.
congratulations.
I think the world, and especially in like Canada, North America, I think the world is more forgiving than people think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if you do right. Like, we like I said, due to circumstances, we get our hands dirty in different industries, and I think that when that desire of change exists, and I'm able to take all my experiences and create something that like you don't even know no better unless I tell you. And I think the other part of it is like having the integrity to be able to say like, look, this is who I am. I ain't hiding who I am. This is what I'm capable of. This is who I am. You decide. And if you choose not
Absolutely.
to, no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So that's really,
And I think it's a huge part, especially in the black community. When we think of criminals, the criminals I know are great people, right? A lot of us have been in criminals' life, but it's not. It was a necessity. It was a need. Shit,
Yeah.
you going to
Yeah.
the food bank. You
Yeah.
know, you living in all of us.
Yeah.
We're in these predicaments. We don't have many options.
Yeah.
So that was a necessity. It wasn't that I was a bad person. Whatever the case is, it's just here were my circumstances. I made the most of my circumstances. Now I'm not trying to do that no more.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's not a real reflection of when you think of criminal and all this type of thing.
And I mean, I think too, like I come from a criminal background. Fortunately, I haven't been convicted of anything other
Oh,
than
thank
other than weed. I got convicted of weed in 2014.
now
And
they
now
sung
look
it
at
in the
it.
liquor store.
Now,
Right,
Ain't that some shit?
Exactly. But like I was fortunate to not really spend a lot of time incarcerated. But the thing is that like the whole time that I was involved in street shit, like I still was heavily involved in community. I still did all the things that I'm doing now. It's just how I earned money was different. You know what I mean? And so like my character and all of those things still existed. I was the exact same person. It's just my job essentially was, illegal activity. Yeah. And so, I think that's kind of the piece of it is like, I didn't even really know, like, shit, I didn't know you had 28 convictions or none of that shit like that.
well,
but
that was then.
Yeah.
Now we
No,
have
no.
we have 32.
Right.
Because at that in 2013, 2015, I only had 28, but I put off an outstanding charge. I kept trying to hide from it.
Yeah.
And then when I started my business, everything was going good. I'm like, I got to deal with this shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I went back. Told my lawyer, let's go back. Let's just
Yeah.
get a sentence. And then sure enough, they gave me like a year house arrest.
Nice.
So in 2018 and 19, when people see me, you wouldn't even realize I had a fucking bracelet on my ankle.
Right.
For a whole year.
Wow.
No one really knew. Except
You said
for-
2019?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to finish off my last charge.
And that would have been like less than 3 years
Yeah.
ago. So I kind of started watching your journey.
And I had an
probably
ankle
about-
bracelet on. Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start Blk Women in Excellence?
2020.
Okay.
So when it came off that summer.
So right before then, though, I think I started following you. I kind of stumbled across you on Facebook, and you had started being vocal about entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, like at that time, I wouldn't have known.
No
right?
one.
And here I am just watching, just watching the videos and just hearing you talk about business and hearing you talking about empowering people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing. It's like, if you limit yourself, and the thing about this show, like, we created this show for the viewers. Not all of our viewers are the same, but for some of the viewers that are watching, like, man, like, you sitting at home and you thinking, like, oh, I could never do this shit. Oh, I could never create a business.
Oh, I got to charge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
this,
like,
oh, that.
When you drop
I'm
the
in the
excuses.
streets.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it could be opposite. Oh, she looks a certain way, like I was saying when I
Yeah,
first
yeah,
come in.
yeah.
Yeah, I look like this when most people see me.
Yeah.
But, this is not always how I look.
Right,
I
right,
never
right.
had, the home and the nice vehicles and, able to do what I want to do now financially.
Yeah.
So, even though I allow people to know what they know. Like when I have an ankle bracelet, my youngest daughter didn't even know it was ankle bracelet. I told her it was a calorie counter. She found out just last year
Wow.
because my son had one on, and he was telling her, and she was like, "Mom, I remember you telling me that was a calorie counter.
Yeah.
You had an ankle bracelet." So I said to her, "Now it's time for me to talk to you and let you know
Right, yeah, right,
what your mom was into all these years."
And I think it's important to own who you are. You know what I mean? Like, because these are the ingredients that, this is what created me.
This is me.
These are the things that when I'm presenting myself forward to you, had not been for these struggles, these tribulations, I wouldn't be able to package who I am to be able to know how to fit
Absolutely.
you. You know what I mean?
And that's a great segue. We did an episode once about, talking about his life in the streets and a lot of our lives and how we can transfer skills and all that stuff. I guess my question is, for you coming from the streets, what type of things do you think transferred from your life in the streets to business? How did you make that transition? What did that look like for you?
The biggest thing, the first thing, was knowing how to put money back into my business immediately. It's just like drugs.
Re-up.
You got to flip that money. You got to keep putting it in. So for me, it wasn't hard to get a client and then go spend that money that day.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was going back into the business, back in. So that wasn't hard because I did that for
You
years.
had that discipline.
So I understood it, and always having that hustle, no matter what happens. You come back. You come back. You come back. It doesn't stop. So
you get up again.
you keep getting up because shit is real, right? Entrepreneurship is just like any illegal activity. Only thing is or legal activity. Only thing is it's illegal.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a white gentleman. He owns plenty of properties on Goddison Street, and he seen the Frank magazine. They did an article about me. Now, when Frank gets you, you know if you're doing something.
Yeah, Frank.
Sure.
And he said, "I'm going to tell you something, Tia. You ain't the only one."
Yeah.
They're just putting it out there because you're a minority. You're a black woman. You're voicing all these things.
You're making strides.
But there's all these white men who are doing what you're doing, tax evasion, everything else,
The most.
and ain't getting not even getting
A
picked
slap
up
on
by
the
the
wrist.
police.
The biggest criminals.
And I think, that was one of the things, like, early on in the smooth meal prep journey, we hid behind the brand for two reasons. One, because we're black. And I think for me personally, it was like because I knew my past. And even though I wasn't, ever really convicted of no major crimes, it was kind of known, like, in certain communities, like, what I was about.
Yeah.
And so we hid behind it a long time. And it wasn't until I started talking to, like, people, white people that, and when I was kind of, we were working on this deal, and I'm like, yo, like, I got to be forthcoming with you. Like, here's who I am behind, like, before. He's like, man, everybody got a story.
We all got it.
I mean? And so when he said that to me, here it is, somebody that I look up to, this prominent white man, big business in Nova Scotia. And he said that to me, and it kind of released a little bit off my chest. Like, you know what? I thought about it. Like, yeah, everybody got a story. So here's mine. And when I started to own my story, and it's not to, like, rub it in people's face or like, hey, I used to. No, it's like, this is who I am. You know what I mean? I think once you own that, it allows you to progress a hell of a lot faster forward because,
you're not stuck no more.
This is what I come from. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was little by little, like you said, when you first started following me on Facebook, and I just went back on Facebook that year, and I went off of it in 2007, 8.
Yeah.
So I wasn't on it for years, and then I go back on because I want to kind of slowly, voice, like, show who I am because I had a great business. I only had one at the time.
Yeah.
And now I have 3, and then I have a non-for-profit I started by myself.
Yeah.
But I think my hand was more forced because people were coming for me. There was females in, my community and mainly just my community, It was no other communities.
That's always how it goes.
It was my community that were coming for me
Yeah.
and telling people things about me and sending emails to, businesses and organizations that they think I was partnering with. And I was like, you know what I'm doing?
Unfucking believable.
Oh, no, it happened. I got the receipts.
I know.
It was real.
You know what? And to that point, I think, sorry to cut you off.
No, sorry.
I think to that point, when essentially, like, when we've caused harm to people, right? I think that's the natural, in order for us to elevate, it's almost like we got to clean this up. And a lot of times, like, the people that we've done harm to on a community level, like, they mad to see us go to them. Like,
they're not ready.
They don't
want to get cleaned up.
They don't understand that forgiveness piece. They don't understand, like, you know what, man, this is who I was. If you want to allow me to, let's figure this out so
Let's
I can move forward.
But
let's do it.
I think it's definitely potentially a harm piece, but, like, I think myself, I ain't done much harm to people, but we had people call the health boards on us, and
sometimes you don't even gotta do harm.
Exactly.
Just being
just
from a
shining
and doing what you're doing, it just doesn't sit well with people.
Yeah, that's harm.
It drives them nuts.
When you start shining sun in darkness, that causes harm to people that want to be in darkness.
Misery loves company.
100%.
So for me, I just literally said I'm going to just take control of this narrative, and I posted my Halifax Chamber of Commerce nomination for Business Leader of the Year next to my mugshot, and I put it on LinkedIn, not Facebook, not Instagram. I put it on LinkedIn, the professional, platform. And oh my God, CTV, Chronicle Hero, Global, everybody was calling. And I did stories with all of them, and I let them know this is who I am. So at the end of the day, skeletons are going to come out. You can't hide them forever, especially when you're trying to scale who you are and your business.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, and I think, a part of not only hiding it, freeing yourself, but I think the way you're able to connect with people, and we can tap into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see, I've watched your page recently, and the young women are on there pitching their businesses, and I know some of them personally, and I think they're able to connect with you on a different level. They might not be able to connect with the businesswoman in Halifax or the other person that's
like
so clean cut.
Scotiabank. You partner with Scotiabank, correct?
Yes.
Like,
we did.
For Scotiabank to kind of host that platform where Black women are coming here and trying to sell or get information on their business, like Scotiabank, the Black woman from community level, there's no real connection.
Gap.
So they need that bridge. You know what I mean? Someone that understands both.
Well, they tried to partner for Black History Month, but I don't do partnerships for Black History Month.
Straight.
I intentionally say no to all of them.
I said the same shit.
Come to me for March.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't come to me in February. And they did. They were like, we'll do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because, I'm a Scotiabank. All my business accounts are there. My savings, RSPs, all that stuff is there. And I just don't see Black people there. So I just spoke out. I said, listen, I got to figure this out. I have a whole whack of, Black women going through my programs. Most Black businesses, you guys know, we don't get business bank accounts for our businesses. We do it out of our personal, add another little, account on the back end of it, and say I have a business account, which you don't.
No.
So I said, let me, do it right the first time. And I just reached out to Scotiabank, and they were like, yeah, I got like 5 different branches in Halifax, and the women that go through my programs, they're able to get a discounted business bank account for 3 months. 3 months is free, and after that, it's discounted for a year.
Nice.
So there's some perks.
Nice. How like I don't know.
Scotiabank.
I don't know the questions, the flow, or whatever, but kind of want to go back a bit. You talked about how you first got into business, right, with the salon, and then you talked about later on you were grinding, selling papers, the paper route. To start your next business. What were some of the things that you felt didn't work with your first business? Like, what are some of the reasons why you feel like that didn't work?
I wasn't ready.
Okay.
Literally, I have the business mindset. That's why I have 3 now.
Watch the table.
Sorry.
Yeah, no
I have
worries.
a business mindset. So for me, I just wasn't ready. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was doing it to, get shout outs or to say I had a business. And
Right.
It just wasn't what it was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just, I wasn't ready.
I was not ready.
Right? It didn't matter what the business was doing.
Didn't matter. And I
just
wasn't
wasn't
even I wasn't in it. I know you guys, you're in business. You're in it every day, day in, day out, nighttime. Like you live, breathe, and eat this shit. I didn't. I was barely there. I would come in, go to the till, take the money from the day, and go shopping. Like that. What the hell?
You were eating the business.
I thought I was the bad bitch.
Yeah, you were eating the
And
business.
now, there's times that my fiance will say, like, can you put the phone away while we're over for dinner? We have one night a week together.
Yeah.
I am so engulfed in my businesses, so that's why I know it's my time now.
Right. So now you weren't ready then, and then what made you be ready when you start? What was your next business you started? Top Notch?
It was Top Notch. Well, when I first started, it was called Before and After Cleaning Services.
Okay.
And then that was like, trial and out, going to people's doors. I was doing cleanings, 5-hour cleanings for like $50, you guys.
Wow. That's $10 an hour.
Yeah, dollar store supplies. I was just going to people's houses in the Hydrostone, knocking on doors. We could like cleaning services. I was printing off flyers from the YMCA on Gottingen because it was free. They would let me do it black and whites.
Yeah.
And I would go home and have me and my kids cut out the little flyers and all that stuff. And I just built up from there. And then I decided to change it in 2015 to Top Notch, so I rebranded.
Okay.
Change the uniform, change the logo, change, my HR policies, the manuals, everything, training, everything was changed. Because at that point I knew, my business is scaling. I have all these clients, I need to hire more people, and I had no choice. I had to change the look of it.
Right.
I want you to come back to that beginning stage, because I think it's a lot that we can pull there. I think oftentimes, as black people, as people want to get into business in general, it's like, I need to have everything great. I need to be this. I need to be that. And it's like, no, you just start wherever you're at.
Absolutely.
So, okay, fuck. I got dollar store products. Perfect. I don't got a friggin' printer. Okay, cool. I'll print it at the YMCA.
Yeah.
Let me knock on your door, and I'll clean your house for $50.
Yeah.
And so give me a little bit more about your mindset there and what that was.
I never had the money for it to start a business, which most black businesses don't. And I say this a lot to the women.
Yep.
I don't care what you got, you work with what you have.
Straight.
Even though you don't have the proper supplies or the marketing and all this stuff, you have yourself. So whatever you can do, you just do it and build up from there. For me, I'm glad it went that way because I appreciate Top Notch Cleaners. Top Notch Cleaners is my baby. It got me out of all that bullshit. It allowed me to be who I am today. So for me, if I would have got it easy, if someone would have gave me $250,000 to start, I don't think I would appreciate this shit. This is a passion of mine.
Yeah. I'm laughing because, I resonate with that story. You know what I mean? Like early on when I first started my first business, like as an adult, it was, it was all kind of like I had money, right? And then when we started Smooth Meal Prep, like we tried to get money. We created the plan to go get the money first kind of thing, and we couldn't get it. And so we had to really grind and bootstrap. And so one of the things I noticed internally was it made me appreciate the hell out of Smooth Meal Prep today rather than if somebody would have just kind of helped spring load us forward. So when you were saying that, I was like, it just forces your appreciation when you know that you created something from the
nothing.
bottom up.
From nothing.
And
Earlier,
there's a business process to cut you off that around, they call it the lean startup process, right? And I'm sure you obviously know that, right? So, to build your business, if you just got $500,000 in the beginning,
that's not building.
You know what I'm saying? You're just going to be spending anywhere. And then a lot of times you're going to just waste the money. But when you got to build lean, and I think that's the advantage we have. We're coming from nothing. We got to build lean. So we start here, and then we gradually grow. And that gradual growth is why Top Notch can still exist 9 years later.
9 years. Absolutely. I wouldn't even think.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even think that, everything I've been through in 9 years, that I would still be in business.
Straight.
right.
And then I didn't even think, being able to expand Top Notch and scale it, I was able to put money into another business.
Right.
And then to another business.
Right.
And I was like, I never had to get a loan. So to this day, I don't owe.
Straight.
Only thing I owe on is my mortgage on my house. Other than that, I don't owe anybody anything.
Debt-free black business. Amazing.
Earlier, like when we were off screen, I heard you say something that really jumped out at me. The question was, how do you continue to go? How do you continue to handle all of this shit? And you had a really unique answer. You can say it, or I could repeat.
It doesn't matter. I just don't want to be broke again. I don't want to have to go to food banks again. I don't want to have to choose if my kids get a snowsuit for Christmas or get it when the snow actually starts.
Right.
I don't want to have to wait for the 20th check to drop in the bank account. And if it's late, I'm calling Revenue Canada like nonstop. Where's my money?
Right.
I don't want to do that ever again. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah. Straight that freedom.
It is.
You know what I mean? You chasing your own freedom and having the control to be able to do whatever the shit you want to do.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally, if I want to go away today, I could go away today. I mean, I can't cross borders in the States because of my criminal record.
welcome to the
but
club.
if I have to, if I want to go to Jamaica, Dominican, like if I could just go away.
Yeah.
If my kids said, Mom, we want to take the youngest one. She's 15 now, but we want to take her away because you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
I would be able to say, okay, here's the money. It's on me.
Participate financially.
Yeah, I can't do it because I can't cross borders, but my middle child, she can.
Yeah.
Because she's the perfect patty.
Right.
Here's the money to pay for you, your girlfriend, or sorry, her fiance now, and my youngest.
Nice. And I think, a lot of times too, like, it's the shield. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna take on all that bullshit to make it so that here's a clean slate for you. You know what I mean? I think that's just the ultimate sacrifice as a parent, as a friend, as an older brother. You know what I mean? It's like just creating that shield for people behind you so that they don't got to experience some of the things that we had to experience. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Take in, to hear your story with Top Notch of knocking on doors. What would you, to where you're at now, what would you kind of say your keys were to scaling that, to growing that? And maybe first just kind of tell us where Top Notch as today, how big you guys, how many, whatever you can give us around that, right?
It was just my drive. It was literally I eat and breathe it to this day, not as much as I did in the beginning, but it was everything. I needed to be successful for the haters. I needed to be successful for my family who says you don't leave a job because you got kids and go start a business. That's irresponsible. I needed it to work, and I just kept going. And of course, my tenacity. So nothing really, I can be put down for a day because I'm a human. But trust me, when I come back the next motherfucking morning, I got another idea. I use my struggles to innovate something else. 9 years. So post-pandemic, I had 13 employees. Pandemic's over. 11 came back. 2 quit a month and a half ago, and then I rehired 2 more, but then them 2 quit this morning. So reality is, and my daughter works for me, my oldest one. And I fired her before too, but she's been with me for a few years now. She's good.
Join the club there too.
No, for real. It was really hard.
But kids in the business is tough. It's tough.
But I want her to, she has her own business too. She has luxury chocolate bombs, her and her fiance. But I want her to take over Top Notch. If anything happens to me, I want her to know the ins and outs of this business, that she can take it further than what I can, because her age category, they have a different way of doing things.
Right.
I'm probably stuck in a mindset where it potentially stopped me from growing as far as I could, because I'm, 42. She's 23.
She's still young though.
She got some shit she can bring to the table.
For sure, big time.
So, it was hard, but she's back. She's doing great. Love her to death, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the business itself, it's great. Like I was saying earlier, I'm in a different tax bracket. Like that,
Get into that bag.
It's crazy. You go from, deliver newspapers with dollar store supplies cleaning, going to food banks, going to Parker Street looking for furniture, going to Parker Street getting a school bag for your kids because you can't get school supplies, to being in a different tax bracket than most of the people I know.
Right. And that I think that's the American dream.
That's the friggin' American dream.
It's so awesome.
That's the hood dream.
It is, but it doesn't come easy. It's like 7
no.
days a week for me. I don't really get a lot of vacation time. I take 1 vacation a year.
Yeah, I seen you balling out on the vacation.
Once, just one vacation a year. And even
go all
then,
out.
I was still on,
still working.
doing programs from Jamaica. But, I try to be kind to myself as much as possible. But when you're an entrepreneur, you have to eat.
You got to eat a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Eat a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And keep going.
And just keep going. Nothing's going to stop you.
You guys mostly service residential?
Well, when we started out, it was residential.
Yeah.
Now we do commercial.
Nice.
But what we're known for is our Airbnbs. So the Airbnb is very lucrative when you're cleaning. I'm not going to say how much you can get because I don't want the clients to be like, so we do 37 Airbnb properties.
Wow.
Nice.
And most of them, well, 99% of them are one night minimums.
Right.
So we're in these properties 4 or 5 times a week.
Right.
Like I make more during the tourist season on that division do I do in a year on residential.
Right.
And where do those mostly come from? Is it, people reaching out to you? Is
Yeah,
it
I don't
marketing?
I don't advertise no more. I don't market at all. Like you can't find, I do have a top-notch Facebook and Instagram, but if you go on there, you'll see my last post was probably like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I don't post.
Right.
It's just referral basis now.
Gotcha. Good place to be.
It is.
That's
It's
how you know
good.
the product is real.
And then you get good clients that way.
Oh yeah, the best.
If you're just out there getting a one-off client, it's going to be problems. They're not going to pay you.
No.
But when you do referrals, it's from a friend or a family member of a client you've had for a long time.
They're coming correct.
They know what they're getting into.
Yes.
They know what they're getting into. And I think that speaks to, the integrity of the business. Right?
Absolutely.
Like when you show up, you handle your business, you go above and beyond for your client. Now, like, the money's going to come naturally because people are going to tell other people. Everybody loves when somebody does something good for them, and they just tell people. It's just shit. Like, if I go eat at a nice food place,
tell someone.
I'm going to hit them up like, yo, bro, you got to check this out.
Every time.
You know what I mean?
Every time.
Right?
So, after Top Notch Cleaners, you started a couple other businesses.
Yeah, Lux Overnights.
Yeah, yes. So tell us about that.
I couldn't help it. So we were cleaning Airbnbs.
A serial entrepreneur. It happens to the best of us.
Yes, it happens.
Yeah.
I was cleaning Airbnbs for a long time, and they have to co-host me as a co-host.
Gotcha.
So I got to see the Airbnb platform. I've never used it back then. I got to see how it worked. I got to figure out the customer service, the bookings, their nightly rates, how it changed tourist season, all that shit. And I'm like, they hired me in to clean. So why can't I do the same thing? So what I did, I reached out, actually, with Ron Lovett. I don't know if you guys know Ron Lovett.
I just met with Ron yesterday. Ron's my guy.
So I met with Ron because I've known him from high school, and I was already cleaning his properties for Peter Living, my cleaning company was.
Nice.
And I said, listen, how you feel about, me renting, one spot from you, market rent, you just have to put parking included and hot water. And he was like, what are you going to do? I said, I want to do short-term rental, Airbnb. And that's how it started.
Nice.
He said, absolutely.
Sick.
Nice.
And
so you don't actually own the properties?
No, I don't own them. I have 8 of them that are rented from landlords. And then I pay them. I don't go past $1,200 a month.
Playing the game.
If you're charging me more than $1,200, not doing it.
Yeah.
But most of the property managers and landlords, they know me because we clean their apartments anyways.
And it's no mess. Like, now I don't got to deal with, like, the other shit. So
no,
a lot of
I got
landlords,
insurance, all that stuff. My cleaners are in there all the time, so we get to see.
Yeah.
It's kept clean. There's no parties.
Yeah.
I love that business.
Sick.
Yeah, like me as an investor, if I'm about to, like, look at, like, putting one of my properties out to the public, and I got to take in all these applications, I probably got to go through a realtor and all this different stuff. I'm looking for, like, the lowest risk. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I want someone that's not going to beat up my place, someone I don't got to chase down for money and all that shit. But if, like, an existing relationship already exists, and I already know, like, this person's been on time, they don't run, blah, 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 I'll take a pay cut. You know what I mean? To deal with that person, I don't really care what they go do with it because I'm dealing with them. I'm not dealing with
Tom,
all of
Dick,
that
and
mess.
Harry.
You know what
and
I
that's
mean?
what Ron said because Ron had hired me in entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He had hired me in to consult with him on 2 of his bad properties. I won't say what they were. They were in Dartmouth though. He said,
We
"I know
make
you don't."
some assumptions.
Yeah, he said, you don't fuck around. I need you to clean these places out.
Yeah.
I'll give you this if it takes 6 months. I just need you to clean it out. Evict people, get them out, get new ones in.
Right.
And that was a really lucrative deal too. And I did that. So once I did that for him, he was like, okay, she's about business.
She's about shit.
And it works. So if I'm paying $1,200, I'll do a little bit of math for people so they can take an assumption.
Yeah.
$1,200 a month, you get a power bill every 2 months, whatever, $100, $112. You have your Wi-Fi, fully furnished unit. Usually I have a washer and dryer in there. But I usually charge, like, if it's a 1-bedroom, I'll charge $199 a night in the tourist season.
And is that on
30
Airbnb?
days.
You
Yeah.
do it on Airbnb? Sick.
So, and then the cleaning, guess who does the cleaning?
Yeah.
You
My
do the
company.
My
Cleaning.
company. So that money for the cleaning fee goes right back into my cleaning
I'm
company.
double dipping. I'm eating all
You
around.
don't got to call cleaners.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yeah.
So it was probably the best decision, but I did it based on me watching how much money they were bringing in off of being a co-host. And I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Let me reach out to landlords.
And that's major. And, I think that's the beauty of entrepreneurship and serial entrepreneurship. I watched a funny, cool video on TikTok the other day. This lady, she lives in, like, North Dakota, whatever. She started with selling dresses, right? From selling dresses, so many people were coming to sell dresses, so she had a property. She turned it into a wedding booking place. Then she had a wedding booking place. From there, she she started a real estate company. So after you booked your wedding with me, then I'm going to sell you a house for you and your husband.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to she has a painting company. So I'm going to sell you the paintings for your house. Then after that, I'm going to send you to my husband's office for divorce.
Right.
Right? So it was literally, it was a cool video on the street, and she just has 6 different businesses that connected. So, that really resonated.
And the money just keeps coming.
It just
right
keeps
back,
flowing.
right back, right back.
Like for us, one customer is worth $400 or $500 bucks.
Absolutely.
But like, if we were, I don't know, selling them something else that's connected to this, like if we were their personal trainer, that one customer, now they're worth $500 plus $1,200. You know what I mean? So you take in one customer and you just eating 3-4 times off of them.
Absolutely.
You know what
And it's, like I said, it's the power of entrepreneurship. You can't help. If you're a true entrepreneur, you really can't help it. Your brain does not
don't
stop.
It don't stop, man.
And, Coco Plus, you mentioned that earlier, but I sold that. I sold the business name to somebody else. I had it for 3 years, built it up. She got the clientele, all my contacts for my suppliers, all that stuff.
And what was that business?
It was plus size clothing.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't just plus size clothing, it was clothing that I wear. So anybody who's watching this already knows me. And they know I don't wear traditional shit. If it fits me, I'm putting it on because of fuck. So with stuff like that, and the majority of my clientele and customers were in England and the US.
Gotcha.
Because they're out there. They don't care, right? They're going to wear whatever.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy with it. So I took that money and I found a supplier in England, and I started a company called Lips and Lashes.
Wow.
So that company was primarily going to be, and you learn quick.
Yeah.
It was going to be a lipstick and lash company. I love lipstick. I love bright colors. I don't believe that black women have to do reds and golds all the time.
All the time.
They can do anything.
For sure.
But I made a huge mistake, and I realized that like 3 months in, I had vegan lipstick, and my lashes were mink. How the fuck? You can't do that.
Right,
You got a vegan company with mink lashes.
Right.
So what I did, my youngest daughter, she wanted to start a business.
Yeah.
She wears lashes. She's always buying from other businesses locally and costing me a grip. So I said, what do you think about a lash company? You want to start one? And she was like, yeah. I said, well, instead of buying your iPads, Jordans, and iPhones for Christmas, this was 2 years ago, I will invest a business for you.
Right.
So I literally transferred over, got her business registered, gave her the lashes. I had to change the boxes and the promotion of it, marketing, everything, because she didn't like it. And now she has her own business called Lash Game.
Nice.
And she's 15.
Amazing.
And she brings in about $3,500 a month
Jesus.
from lashes. Oh yeah, that girl goes to school with her in a school bag and comes back with cash.
Hustler.
The grind don't
You get it
stop.
from them.
I'm just like,
apple don't
girl,
fall far from the tree.
Girl, you don't got no overhead though.
That's right.
Yeah.
You might have to start paying a little bit of bills.
Well, I
Yeah,
said to her
exactly.
what I did to her
Yeah,
because she was
yeah.
ordering from. She found her own supplier on Alibaba because she wanted to do it herself. She said, "I don't want to go through you no more, Mom." But I'm thinking about actually, going to that supplier, buying in bulk, spending, $5-10 grand.
Yeah.
And then you can buy from me.
Nice.
And other girls in the city who are selling lashes,
selling
you can come to me as your supplier.
You just play the game, and once you know
it,
the format of business, it's the same shit. And that's why I think, not to go backwards, but like that's what I think the streets taught me so much.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
I learned so much in the streets, like about like just levels and where the kind of price points at are different levels. It's like, all right, cool, like, and taking out the middleman and becoming the middleman, all those different things. You just see the game, it like becomes simplified. So now whatever you're dealing, lashes, cleaning, real estate,
Whatever it is, you cut
it
the
don't
middleman
matter.
out.
It just becomes so clear to you, or
It's not
I
personal.
become the middleman.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Whichever way, you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah,
Whichever
exactly.
way
I'll
it
take
is,
that role.
right? You know what I mean. So I think like just translating those skills.
The life on the streets, God rest his soul, Buzz, we were together for 20 years. So Buzzy didn't get to be where he was before he died with saying I'm taking weekends off and I'm going to bed.
Sure.
Like Buzzy was in this 24/7
stop.
and I watched him and, we lived it. So I understood that hustle of he was so hungry that he ended up being on the top and it didn't come easy. So for me, I have to emulate that too.
Yeah. No,
He
for sure.
started with literally nothing.
Yeah.
With a baby. He was 15, I was 14. We had a kid and we couldn't get diapers. That's what started him. And if he was alive, he would tell you the story.
Yeah.
I went, my grandmother was away on a AUBA mission.
Yeah.
So I had no money.
AUBA.
Yeah.
Grandmother's
Yeah.
in AUBA.
Yeah. Evelina was real about that.
Yeah.
So she was away. And the end of the month checks weren't coming out for 3 days. I took the money and spent it on Black Tournament.
That'll
I'm going to be real. I
You're not the
spent it on
first. You
open
won't be the
stuff.
last.
Yeah.
And I called Buzz and I asked him, Shaquani's diapers.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck. I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
And that week he said, I'll never breathe them words out my mouth ever again. And I can't provide for my child.
Yeah. You know, I like shout out to him. You know, one of my favorite people across the bridge. You know what I mean? Like, just not that like the bridge matter, but like, you know, I just grown a respect for him over the years. And so, you know, his death impacted me.
Oh yeah, impacted the community a lot.
I tell your son all the time, you know, like just hit him up randomly just because he would watch out for me. You know what I mean?
So now
you
it's
know,
time for you to
like,
watch
you know,
out
I
for
just
him.
hit him up, just check on him, see how he's doing. You know what I mean?
I mean, he is my twin, even though people say he looks like Buzz, but I think he looks a lot like me too.
Yeah,
I think so too.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
You know, so you're this started from the bottom, serial entrepreneur, breaking chains, breaking doors down, finding deals where there ain't none. But I think from my lens again, one of the greatest accomplishments that you've done is starting Blk Women in Excellence.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
one of the things that like you're here I am going forward. I'm chasing this thing. I'm
grabbing it for myself, grinding for myself, super busy for myself.
Yeah.
And still
finding time,
to pull some other Black women
right behind me. Let's do it.
With you. Yeah. And I think, you know, it's super cool because, you know, Nevell mentioned earlier, like there's some women that I know that before Blk Women in Excellence, they didn't have the confidence
to do what they want to
do what they do after Blk Women in Excellence.
The confidence, the know-how.
And some of the women come out and people are like, I never knew you had a business.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, I have one. But it just, it took them to build that confidence to say, I am a business owner.
Yeah.
You are a business owner. Just say it.
Straight. You give them, you know, because you're very loud on social media. Like,
I am.
You know what I mean? Like,
in general, too.
Real shit. Sometimes I watch the video, I'll be like,
gotta turn this shit down.
Man, and I look at the time, I'll be like, man, she talking for 6 minutes. You know what I mean? But like, I've learned to appreciate it because I see what you're really doing. You know what I mean? Like, I actually see as you're being intentional. Like, you know, I'm gonna take the bulk of the mess. I'm gonna tell the world about us. But here's who's behind us. You know what I mean?
This is exactly.
No, I pay attention. Like, I look at shit in layers. You know what I mean? So like, I'll see what's going on, and you know, so I've grown to really appreciate it because I get what you're doing.
Thank you.
Know what I mean?
A lot of people don't. They just think I'm doing it. And, you know, for me, when I started this organization, I started because I went to a Taken Black Audition event.
Gotcha.
The summer of 2020, that August.
Yeah.
And the majority of the vendors, were women. So I just couldn't help it. I went around asking, like, a couple of them I knew. And I'm like, yo, when did you start your business? Oh, I'm just doing a little side hustle because of COVID. And then my mind would go into it again. So do you want us to be a side hustle or looking to do a business?
Right.
And they were like, well, how am I starting a business? I got no money, blah, blah, blah. And then I went home and I called my fiance. I said, I want to do something. Yeah. And he was like, not again. Like, we already have so much on the go. There's no way we're doing another business. Yeah. I was like, no. I want to build a support group. That's how it was supposed to start. Just a couple of girls venting and going on.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It went from there to a non-for-profit. And then we were like, well, we don't got the money to, like, no one's going to fund us because we're a new organization. Yeah. So I said to him, I just want to go into savings and take money out. And so my top notch cleaners funded Blk Women in Excellence right up until maybe March 30th of this year.
Wow.
We finally first started getting funding it.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. That's huge.
And you know, I think when shit come from somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, when it come from a place of, like, essentially purity, you know what I mean? Like it's coming from my heart. I went to a vendor's market and I seen all women, but they only consider themselves as side hustles or vendors. They're not seeing, like, there's a business here. Like, you don't only have to do this at the market. You know what I mean? Like, you could do this shit. The internet, the World Wide Web exists. Like, you could do this every day, 24 hours a day.
Right.
And so you seeing that, and, you know, like, a lot of times, like, most great things start from, you know, I seen something that I didn't like. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know that this could be better.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, you know, that's why I think Blk Women in Excellence is growing at such a fast pace. Like,
huge.
Yeah.
I wasn't even prepared for it, to be quite honest.
Sure,
I was like, what? Like, it's amazing that people are actually getting it now. I have people, you know, I see now that would have never want to be considered an associate of mine based on who I used to be, and now will stand beside me. Because they see what I'm trying to do, and you can only say sorry so much where people are not going to accept it or they are. But if you're intentional about change, then they can see it. They can see what I'm out here doing. And I will take the brunt of it, like you said, to put things out there for the community at large to say, like, enough's the fuck enough. Like, you know what I mean? So I do take a brunt of stuff. I have people all the time saying to me, are you even black? Random people will message me, are you even black? Because I don't know no black girl that has green eyes.
Right.
I'm like, oh my God. And then I go on my little rants. Well, you know, your people rape my people. I do that thing.
Right.
But like, I take a lot of the brunts.
Hold that one.
I'm begging. I'm out there asking for money to make sure our programs can keep going. Building partnerships. We just built, I can't even say who it is because, not because we're not allowed. I just don't want, you know, I hate to say it, my haters. Every time I
you can't. Listen, I watched.
Oh my God.
I seen this thing once. It said, you know, don't share your plans with people. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Just do it, right? And by the time it's
they'll
too late,
hear it. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, so we just got a partnership with a financial institution, and I made sure it was intentional, only to make sure that Black women were able to access capital.
Nice.
Sick.
Nice.
And we did the partnership a month ago, and I have 2 women. One already got her money, and the other one got her small business loan too.
Right.
And I'm just like,
I seen that on your birthday.
She called me. She said, Tia, they gave it to me.
Nice.
They gave me a letter, an offer letter.
Sweet.
I was like, girl. So that was my best birthday gift because I've been fighting for the access because we can't get capital.
Right.
As soon as we walk in to apply for it, they're looking at you.
Man, we be stressing out trying to get. Sometime, man, like, you know, when we got a pretty cool business. We've proven that we could do it again.
Track records are there,
revenues, we got everything you need to see.
And it still get real difficult to access capital. And a lot of times it's like we go back and forth, like, man, like, what are we not doing right? But when we peel back the curtain,
you need to paint back them skins.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing wrong.
Yeah. Right, like, I ain't even trying to take this off. I don't want your money if I gotta take it off.
Exactly.
But I think that's one of the biggest challenges, like, and that's Black business period, but like specifically like Black women, you know, if like to niche and focus, laser focus in on that, I think, you know, it's real powerful stuff. Like, so here I am, I'm just a Black woman, not just a Black woman, I'm a Black woman. And I have this idea.
Great day to be a Black woman.
Right? I have this idea, and I don't know where to begin. Somebody tells me, hit up Tia Upshaw, Black Women in Excellence. What does that journey look like for them? Step into the mic too.
I mean, it's a fun journey, but it's a lot. So basically, once they reach out, I will set up a time to meet them on Zoom. I like to see you face to face. Let's meet on Zoom. Let's, you know, shoot the shit so you get to know who I am. Because most of these people don't know me. Right. And if they do know me, they only know of me. And I tell them what I do, what I'm about. I tell them, like, you know, I'm not gonna hold your hand. I'm big on accountability. I don't give a fuck if you got a headache. You still gotta show up. I'm huge on that. So once they do that and then they tell me exactly what their needs are, then I kind of look and see, okay, should they go into a scale program, or if they go into a startup program, is my one the best fit for them? Are they just in it to get the money? Are they really serious? Like, you know, all those things. Do you got a business plan? Do you got a marketing plan? Do you got a financial projections? I want to see. And if you don't, then you have to do this startup.
Right.
And then I register them into a startup, and they do that for 16 weeks. And then they complete a 27-page business plan.
Sweet.
Financial projections for 3 years. A detailed marketing plan to understand your market. And then I move them on to a mentor for 6 more weeks in their field.
Nice.
And it's usually 9 times out of 10 it's a Black woman. And then from there, if you're successful, then you get, you know, an introduction email between yourself and the bank.
Okay.
This person, because the bank won't approve if we don't get the okay from Tia.
Right.
Did they do good? Did they show up? Did they attend?
Right.
Is their business plans great? Like, let's see them.
Nice.
And then that's usually the
so
process.
you kind of like, I'm taking you in as his baby, and I'm going to teach you how to walk. Then I'm going to teach you how to run. Then I'm going to teach you how to tie your shoes, drive a bike. I'm going to do all of these things. And then after that, then I'm going to have somebody hold your hand as you go out into the world on your own in the business. And then after that, now I'm going to give you that key introduction.
And let me see what you do with that.
Right.
I can only hope and pray.
That's backed up in Black Woman excellence, really.
Thanks.
That's backed it up, man. Because, I mean, you know, when I hear that, it's so crucial. It's needed. We got some organizations that's supposed to be doing the shit. They're not doing it.
That's why there was a market niche. There was a gap for me to come in.
Huge gap.
And they feel like I'm a threat. And I've tried to partner with some of these organizations. They won't even respond back to me. Yeah. But I'm like, you can catch more flies with honey than shit.
Exactly.
Like
I see. You know what? One of the things that really like I started paying attention and not that I, because there was phases. Like I said, I see shit on a really, I see shit in layers. But one of the things that I noticed was I'll see you at places. I'll see you at other organization
I do it
things.
because I reach out to the women.
Right?
I see black women.
And a lot of times it's like shit that like, you know, you're kind of already, you're doing what they're doing, but you still go.
Yeah.
And
it's support,
you'll
right?
post, you'll post that you're there, you'll be in the pictures. And I think, you know, that's when I really start to say, like, you know what? It's not just, like, it's for real.
Yeah.
Like, it's for real. Like, it ain't
and
just.
I be tired, people, trust me.
Right.
The last thing I want to do is go to a networking event after I dealt with fuckery all day with my companies.
Yeah.
But I will go home and I will get showered and clean up and I will attend because 9 times out of 10, I usually get an invite. And if I don't, and I just hear about it last minute, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go. Power is in numbers.
Yeah.
We do a dinner every 3 weeks, a collective amount of black women. We meet up at a different restaurant every 3 weeks, and it's called Power in Numbers.
Nice.
And it keeps growing. Every 3 weeks, we get more women who just keep showing up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
No, I think that's, you do something long enough, man, like, it's going to catch on.
Yeah.
Well, it has no choice.
Yeah.
And I even my 16-week startup, the ladies will tell you, Tia be putting out her personal shit because I was audited in 2015.
Right.
I didn't know about the threshold. So when you get excited, you register your business. I call CRA, get my business number. Well, I didn't know I had to remit zero if I was. I just didn't remit anything. Then they audited me, kept my 20 check, all that shit. So now I tell the women, like, this is the steps.
Yeah.
Don't go jump get your BN number until you make $30,000.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you have to remit.
Exactly. Immediately.
They ain't playing around.
Tax man.
They ain't not playing around.
Everyone you talk to,
They
say the number one person you don't want to play with is CRA.
Do not play with them. They hold, and like if you got, and I say to a
CRA,
lot of
we
women,
ain't playing with you.
No,
We're not playing
and
with the
we put
CRA.
the message out.
We don't want no beef.
No beef. But I tell the women, if you got kids, you don't want them. They will hold your child tax benefit.
Sure.
They will hold it. They don't care.
They don't give a rat's. I got just one more question there, and then we're gonna go into a little rapid fire of just game for the folks. You gave us your why for starting your businesses. You don't want to go back broke. What's the why behind reaching back? You could put all your energy to growing your business. You could go start another business. We see a lot of people, they just do their own thing. What's the why to say no? There's black women that need me, that have some crucial work, and let me pull them along. Where does that come from?
I never had it. I wish there was a me back then, and not even just business, as a mentor in general to look up to in my community. There was people in my community that has businesses, but they didn't look back to take us along. And I have 2 daughters, so I want to make sure that they have successful businesses. But mainly it's because I really wish there was someone like me when I was going through all my shit. So that's
but you're
why
not just doing it for your kids. You're doing it for other
all,
black women.
all black women, because we're, especially the ones, and there's a couple, and I wouldn't even say their names, there's a couple that remind me so much of me.
Right.
We have one right now, she's waiting on a sentencing. And people don't understand when you're going through a sentencing, you're already doing your sentence the minute you get charged.
Right.
Because as soon as they start talking table of 2 years, you start your sentence in your mind.
Right.
You don't want to elevate. You don't want to go to school. You don't want to do anything because you already know you're going to jail. Even though you may not, but you start your sentence as soon as they start talking about sending you away. So she's going through that process, and I said to her, like, if I can go to court for you, if I can, anything I can do, I'll do it, because if you go to jail, she's right back at fucking square one.
Right.
And that was me. I did, probably about 10 different weekends, ankle bracelet. I was in jail for 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. And you have to start back over every single time. And she's come so far where I'm just like, fuck, just give her a chance somewhere.
Right.
So it's all about like just giving chances. And I have a special place in my heart for black women who are going through some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to help people who are going through some shit. And even if you're not going through some shit, great, we're going to get out the gate faster.
Yeah.
But if you're going through some shit, I want to make sure that I could be that person to help you eliminate a lot of those hurdles that I went through. You know what I mean? A lot of those mistakes that I made. And I think, you know, that's what makes your movement so powerful is you come from some shit, you've been through some shit.
I can talk on that shit.
And you're going to higher places. You're already there. You're in a different tax bracket. There's levels to this shit.
Yes, there is.
And so, you know, like we don't get a lot of people that been through the trenches who make it out
Who come
and then
back.
go back.
And pull back.
You know what I mean? Like we don't get a lot of people. Like it's hard. It's hard as
It
fuck
is.
to go back.
You're a diamond.
You know what I mean?
You're a diamond.
It's
in the
very
rough,
hard to go
right?
back, but you
Yeah.
have to because, you know, we all need someone.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, I have mentors now, but like, where were you at?
Right.
So, you know, for me, if I can help one sister
Yeah.
get out of chasing her baby day, looking for money,
Yeah.
scamming the system, you know, I mean, you know, taking from Peter to pay Paul. If I can help one woman, you know, elevate her household to feel more confident as a single mom,
Yeah.
and be able to give your kids the best version of you, because when you're broke and you're struggling, you are snappy, you're hateful,
Straight.
you cannot be a productive mother. There's no way. I've been there. So my kids, my two oldest will tell you, like, you're not who you're supposed to be to your kids. But if I can help you maneuver through that,
Yeah.
I'm doing
That's
it.
huge.
Yeah.
That's
That's
huge.
big.
That's a game changer.
That's big, man.
That's a
That's
game
big.
changer.
Tia Upshaw.
Tia Upshaw. We got a couple little rappers, and you can throw some in there as well. First, I got what's the number one thing the bank's looking for when you're going to get a loan?
Your business plan. That's the first thing. Where's your business plan? And then they ask for your financial projections. Once your business plan looks good, then they go to the next step.
Yeah.
But not just your business plan. That summary objective is what they read. If that summary objective is not fire, it goes to a different pile.
So no business plan, no moolah from the
There's
bank.
no, and people don't understand that. They get mad with me. I've had banks do guest speaking with the women on my cohorts, and then I'll have to say, "Can you say that again?" Because the women in the back didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Because they gave me a hard time through the 16 weeks on these business plans.
Yeah.
And now they'll come back 2 years later
Yeah.
from the first group. Girl, you were so right.
Yeah.
No one's checking me until I send them a business plan.
And financial projections.
Yeah.
You need 3 years.
Yeah.
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 And it has to be aggressive. It cannot be you're playing safe or you're just putting numbers in.
Go for it.
You have to be aggressive, because if you're going from $120,000 first year and you're putting $135 a second,
Yeah.
where's the growth?
Right.
Where is the growth?
What are we funding here?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to pay us back.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want their money.
Straight.
Put it in there. Fire. Dealing with taxes and CRA. Give us some tips. What's your tips? What's your
File on time when it comes to remittances and payroll.
Mm-hmm.
If you have employees, if you don't, file on time for your remittances. Ensure that you're not, even if you get to 20,000,
Mm-hmm.
just get that BN number, because if you know your business is scaling so quickly,
Yeah.
you're going to need that number soon. So just get it. And then if you're not making the 30 yet, file 0.
Mm-hmm.
0, nil, just file.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money for your remittances, file anyways. There is an interest. I believe it's like $100 on every 1,000.
Yeah.
So if you don't file and put your number, correct number, then they're going to interest you on this. So if
Yeah.
you owe $5,000, that's $500 on top of the $5,000 you got to remit.
Right.
And just don't play with CRA. Make sure you're open and honest. If you can't pay, they'll set up a payment plan. You do not want to get audited. And especially for the ones who don't have a bookkeeper or an accountant, I do have one now. She's great. But the ones that don't, you have to prove what exactly is your revenue and what was not.
Question. What would today Tia tell 21 Tia?
You ain't a bad bitch. I was not. I didn't know shit. But I would definitely say, girl, like, life's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but you're built for it.
Straight.
You're built for it.
Straight. You got one? I got another one.
go get your other one?
What would
Little
you
bit.
say to a black woman who is thinking about starting a business?
I would ask them, are you seriously wanting to start, or are you doing it because it's an in thing and people make it look sexy on the internet? That's my first question. Everybody makes entrepreneurship look so sexy now.
Sure
Yeah.
do.
And if they're like, no, I really am, here's my idea, like, what do
Yeah.
you think? Absolutely, let's do it, but it's
Nice.
not going to be easy. but it's going to be worth it.
Entrepreneurship is not sexy.
It's not for the weak either.
It got all kind of unsexy stuff.
If you're coming into entrepreneurship thinking it's going to be sweet and cool,
and
freedom and all this shit, you think?
No,
it's almost, for me, I was saying this to another lady the other day. She wasn't in my program. She was at the bank, and we were just talking about entrepreneurship. And what bugs me in our community, we're so used to being flashy, and we have to show it on the internet. And then when I see women who have these businesses, I'm just like, there's no way your revenue stream is not strong enough for you to be out every week at a restaurant. You're getting your hair, your nails, your eyelashes done.
Doing the most.
It drives me nuts because you need to be putting that money back in your business. But who am I to say and call someone else, so I won't, but it just grinds my gears. I'm like, girl, you're doing it wrong. I purchased myself a bag for my birthday, and it was like, over taxes, it was $700. That's my first big purchase for me to look a certain way.
Right.
I have 5 vehicles, yes, but they're Honda Civics 2010. I have a home. It's a 3-bedroom townhouse in Cowee Hill. I got it for $200,000 now, and right now they're going for $310.
Right.
So people look at you make money. You're supposed to show it and showboat. Reality is, if you looked at me or came to my house, you wouldn't know what I have in my bank account.
Right. So what you were saying is, 21 Tia wasn't a bad bitch, but
I am now.
42 Tia,
and I'm proud to say it now because it's different levels. It's different levels.
And a rich bad bitch.
Oh yes, you know rich bitch. What was that off of? Oh, Housewives.
Exactly.
Yeah, and in the most respectable way too.
Yeah,
a lot of these people, man, calm people.
That's why I had to do this one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't.
I know you ain't tripping.
It's street. I'm so used to that doesn't even bother me.
The street language.
Bad bitches and real niggas.
Yeah.
It comes around. Yeah.
One of my cohorts is called Blk Business Baddies.
Hey.
And I know, like, for funding, they were just like, "Is this a spelling error?" When I sent it in, I was like, "No, they're Blk Business Baddies. We're baddies in our own truth, right?"
Exactly.
And they were like, "Oh, okay.
All right.
I can call it what I want."
Throw that culture on them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think that's the thing too. Like, one of our biggest, I guess, goals is to just have more people that look like us in the spaces, so that when we out there in the world, like we popping bottles, like we doing shit how, like, we do a lot of
living how niggas live.
Yeah, but we're doing it off the backs of businesses. And I think, because in the business world, we're eliminating, like, my nephew, I picked him up from the airport, and he was just saying, like, he just want to go in a new direction. Like, I want this great life, and I want to chase it. And I'm like, well, what's a bad life? You know what I mean? Like, and we started talking or whatever, and like he started identifying some things that, like, when I looked 10, 15 years ago, like, he gets it, because he's seeing the yesterday life is bad, but now life as good. So, like, in order to do that, though, we got to make this shit look cool. Exactly. We gotta stay cool while we do. We got to stay fly. You know what I mean? But we knocking this shit down,
with
right?
The fly purse.
Yeah. Video call me at 7:00 tonight, though. You'd be like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, Tia, like, I just seen you like 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
You show up when you have to show up.
Right.
And you look a certain way when you have to. I read rooms very well.
Yeah.
And I do intentionally show up in places you normally would not see a Black woman. It is very uncomfortable for me. It is, but again, I have to take those hits, because if I'm not there, the women behind me are not going to feel they're welcome. I'm on a lot of committees now, and someone said to me the other day, "Why would you be on the chamber of commerce in the Valley?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Why not?"
Yeah.
Why not?
Congratulations too.
Thank
I seen
you.
that.
Huge.
That's a big step.
No Black people was ever on that chamber
ever.
Yeah,
But
them are the ones you're gonna go in and really, what's up?
Yeah,
We here.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm very vocal. So the
Yeah.
same way I speak to you guys, the same way I don't change up who I am.
Yeah.
I'm respectable, but if it has to be fucking said, it has to be said.
If it has to be fucking said, Tia gonna fucking
No,
say it.
I had a lady ask me, I can't tell you who she is, so I can't say her name, to be on her podcast. And I was like, it'd be great because, she's on my social media.
Yeah.
And I said, but your viewer's not ready for me, so I'm going to kindly decline.
Yeah.
It doesn't align with what I want to talk about.
Right.
I'm not going to come on and pretend.
Yeah. No.
And she was like, I can respect that, but if you change your mind, I said, I won't.
Yeah.
But thanks.
Thanks anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe you change your podcast, but right now,
No, your viewers, your listeners do not want to, they're not ready for this.
Right.
No, and you make the great point of breaking those barriers down and being visible. I think is huge. One of my little homies hit me up the other day. He texted me. He said, "Hey, are you the richest guy in Halifax?" I said, "LOL, no, bro, not yet." He said, "Oh, okay. Well, I was telling everyone in school you were the richest guy in Halifax." I'm like, I'm
Oh,
not.
thanks. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take it. Right, I'm not. But in his view, because he ain't never seen a black guy with a business.
It's weird today.
You know
it's weird.
That's right. So he don't know anyone else that has a business or whatever the case is, and might see success. Might see me in Jamaica, whatever the case is. But I appreciated that because it's like, for me, when I grew up, the richest niggas was pimps and drug dealers.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's where I wanted to go. Right. So for him to see that, and okay, when it's come time for him to make decisions about how he's gonna make money, he's probably gonna follow this path. Right. So
mine were strippers.
Exactly.
I mean, I never had a body for it, but mine were the strippers. Made everything look so pretty. They had all kinds of money, and now I want people to see like other black business women.
Exactly.
Right.
When I'm I do a lot of guest speaking at the high schools and universities a lot of the times, and I keep it real there too. And I always say to them when they call me in, I'm not gonna clean up how I speak. So there's gonna be a lot of F-bombs and blah blah blah. They're like, absolutely not a problem. But I'm so open with the kids because I want them to see that I'm a real person. Sure. And some of the kids be asking me like, well, what jail were you in? Or how long were you in jail? And, so how many cars do you have? Are they nice Bentleys? And I'm like, it ain't about that. So you take the opportunity to educate a little bit more.
Yeah. I think that's just it, peeling the curtain back. Because, everybody already has their own truth. You know what I mean? And here's mine. And I think by delivering my truth and yours, if you can find some identifiers, it'll help you
navigate,
chase and go in a different direction. But if they only see business owners as these clean-cut, perfect family, they ain't been through no real-life shit, they'll never see themselves as being that, and then it keeps us limited in the positions that we're in. So I think it's ultra important, to just, hey, this is who I am, and deal with it.
This is huge. Yeah. Tia Upshaw, folks, let's give her another round of applause, man. Much appreciated for coming through. Real quick, maybe let them know where they can find you, what's next, all of that, whatever you want to give them.
Well, I don't know what's next because I don't think I'm done. I won't be done anytime soon, but you can find us on our website at www.bwiecanada.com. All social media pages, handles. You can even call 902-402-9158. I've had the same number 15 years.
Mike Jones.
You can get it. You can just call up. Even if you want to send a text and you're just curious about something.
Yeah.
Just reach out and I can see what I can do.
Yeah. That's dope.
Much respect for coming. And just really appreciate it. It was great to hear your story. Like you said, watching from afar, I became a fan, but became an even bigger fan today.
Yeah.
Hearing the why.
100%.
And, I'm just grateful that you exist and you putting on for Black women and building. So, we're happy to mend this relationship and not mend it, to build this relationship.
Mend it. I didn't know it was broken.
The wrong word.
Yeah.
To build this relationship.
Better Black women will create better Black people.
Straight.
You know what I mean?
See what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
I believe that I watched my grandmother create my father, my grandmother create my mother, and they created us. And
you're creating your daughters.
Yeah,
it
you know what I
keeps
mean.
going.
Like Black women are the foundation.
That's where it starts.
You know what I mean.
100%
of Black people.
100%.
The Black woman is the foundation
for generations. That's been the case.
Absolutely. My grandmother, same thing. She raised 13 kids plus me, and she gave her whole life to the Cohort Street Baptist Church, the hot lunch program, and Mulberry Park Food and Furniture Bank. Right up until she died 2 years ago, she was still volunteering. At 90.
So that's where it comes from.
I think so. I'm a little bit old school. People are always like, "My God, you and your sister are so different." I'm like, my mother raised Summer and T-Bear, but my grandmother
Shout
raised
out to
me.
Summer and T-Bear.
Yeah,
too,
that's
man.
what's
Shout out
up.
to Summer and
Yeah.
T-Bear for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well,
cool.
This is it. Much appreciated again. As always, this is the wrap.
Shout out to sponsors, bro.
Oh, we're gonna shout the sponsors, of course. FL Smooth. You can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Nevell Provo, NS_Provo on Twitter, and my main man, 100 grand.
CB Valley everywhere.
Everywhere.
I ain't really on LinkedIn, but I do got a profile.
You do, but it's not active at all.
You gotta make some posts on it. LinkedIn's a good place to be, man.
He do all that other stuff for me, like, you know what I mean. I just show up. You know what I mean. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. I be on Facebook muting people. I be muting people on
you're one
Facebook
of them.
all the time.
I mute people too for 30 days. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, man. I give them the 30-day mute.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? I'll give you a chance to come back around.
Yeah, and then if you do it again, I'm just unfollowing. I'm unfriending you because I can't.
I don't got the courage to unfriend people.
Oh, I do.
You had to do some real crazy shit for me to unfriend you, right? But yeah, I be just, man, there's people I mute like religiously. Like soon I see their name, I don't even read it. I just
what they say.
Oh God,
Right?
you're bad.
Yeah.
Damn.
But because I'm trying to keep,
That peace.
I
Gotta
want to
keep
keep.
your
I'm
peace.
trying to stay focused. When I pull up on socials, like I'm only trying to see positive shit because a bad social media day
It can ruin your whole shit. I tell people that, like, people are like, "Oh, you unfriended me because you always have a problem." And if your problem becomes my problem, that's a whole problem.
That's a
You need
that's
to
a
be
big
off my
problem.
social media.
straight.
And I only add people. Really, I shouldn't say it. I have friends and family, but it's very limited. And everybody else are business owners, male or female.
Yeah.
I can't do the drama. I just can't.
Rightfully
It just
so.
brings me down.
Yeah.
We got too much on the go.
Yeah.
We got businesses to build, black women to empower, and we ain't got no time for all that
No.
other garbage. So
straight.
much love. But this episode was brought to you by Tribe Network, the Black Startup Project. Once again, shout out to Tribe, man. You know, if you're not a black
Alfred's
woman,
doing his thing.
Alfred's doing his thing, man.
For real, because I'm
Right?
on his fellowship.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Exactly.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's building. He's
He
building.
needs people to start supporting and showing up.
Yeah.
Get out to the programs. Check out tribenetwork.ca, and some major great shit happening for all black business owners as well over there. So shout out to Tribe. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thank you,
Boom.
Tia Upshaw.
You're welcome.
As
Thanks,
always,
guys.
keep getting to the bag.